Hello, witches and wizards, and welcome back to episode 20, I believe, of Potterwatch, the Harry Potter Wizarding World podcast brought to you by me, Connor, Harry Potter Explained. Go check out that other channel, by the way. Like I said last time, we've just hit 1.5k, and of course, with the road to Hogwarts Legacy 2, and all the fun stuff with the Harry Potter TV show, there'll be lots of content on that channel. But this podcast, especially for a Friday, is all about reviewing a chapter from the Harry Potter books. We go it week by week, chapter by chapter, from a boy who lived to the flaw in the plan, and 19 years later, it will probably be the same episode, let's be honest. I'm not going to do a whole episode on 19 years later, but we're making our way so far into Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. This is the 3 months, this is episode 12 of this series. We are on chapter 12, the Mirror of Erised. I can't believe we've come this far. But of course, before we dive in deep, looking at the secrets, divulging words and meanings, and just talking about the chapter, of course, do smash that like button, hit subscribe, get that notification bell turned on so you don't miss an episode, and comment your thoughts down below, any questions you have, things like that. I love engaging with you guys. And I am today wearing a Sweden shirt for the World Cup, obviously. The FIFA World Cup is going on. Recording this Friday afternoon, bit tired, got a bit of a headache. I probably am not sleeping as much as I should be, but watching it. But it's been a fun little trip so far. But yes, without further ado, it is chapter 12, the Mirror of Erised. And of course, last time out, if you haven't watched it, it came out a bit late on Wednesday. We looked at chapter 11, which was Quidditch, where we obviously see Snape's bitten leg. They're theorising about that. Hermione Granger doing lots of bluebell flames and fire. And of course, Harry winning his first Quidditch match. But now we're going into Christmas, and we're going to discover some very fun and secret stuff. Fairly beefy chapter this, actually. So we go from 143 all the way to 158, like that. For Harry Potter and Philosopher's Stone, pretty beefy chapter. So let's see how long we'll be talking about this. So yes, like I say, Christmas was coming, and we're in mid-December here, so we've jumped from November to December quite quickly. Hogwarts would find itself covered in several feet of snow. The lake froze, and the Weasley twins were punished for bewitching several snowballs, so they followed Quirrell around, bouncing off the back of his turban. And of course, that is just brilliant and funny, because who's on the back of Quirrell's turban? Underneath it? It's Lord Voldemort, of course, so they're throwing snowballs at Voldemort's face. You can just imagine Voldemort's reaction, like, oh, Quirrell, make them stop. We can't kill them, Voldemort. Yeah, we'll give it away. They're just having a bit of a laugh. He's got to do it. I wonder if he knows it's friend George. And like, just Quirrell, like, is this tame sort of person he's giving off, like, it's like, oh, this is funny. But Ray's like, oh, I want to kill them. I know, Dark Lord, I want to kill them too. But I do wonder if they were ever caught for that. But yeah, just brilliant, obviously, because at the end, we do know it's Voldemort under there. And if you didn't, I am so sorry for spoiling it so far. But really, why don't you know that? This book's, 29 years old. The film's been out for 25 years. It's your own fault if you didn't know that by now and watching this. But there we go. So we get stuff about owls, only a few being able to battle their way through the stormy sky to deliver post, had to be nursed back to health by Hagrid before they fly off again. I love Hagrid, he's keeper of keys, he's a bit of a groundsman, but surely, what's Professor Kettleburn doing? Does he not care? Obviously, he's the care of magical creatures teacher at this point. Surely Professor Kettleburn should be doing this. Hagrid's got enough on. He's probably got a shovel of snow so people can walk out and about the grounds. There's several feet. He's got to de-ice stuff. He's a busy guy, but yeah, he's there to fix owls up. Don't pay him enough, in my opinion. They do not pay him enough. So no one could wait for holidays to start. While the Gryffindor common room and Great Hall had roaring fires, the drafty corridors had become icy and bitter. Wind rattled the windows in the classrooms. Worst of all were Professor Snape's classes down in the dungeons, where their breath rose in a mist before them, and they kept it as close as possible to their hot cauldron. And yeah, like I said, cauldron's pretty hot, but surely it's magic. Surely they can have like a spell to make it like a green room. Maybe Snape doesn't want that. Maybe he's like, yeah, this is a dungeons. I like it ice cold down here. But surely he could do something about that. They don't have to be cold, do they? Bit performative, Snape. Bit performative. Just a quick change of clothing a few days later. I wasn't very well the other day. 4 minutes in, God, I thought I was going to throw up. So nice change of clothes, hair's still a mess. I looked back at what I was talking about because I honestly couldn't remember. So yeah, it's cold in there. And then you get Malfoy going, "Oh, I do feel so sorry for all the people who have to stay at Hogwarts Christmas because they're not wanted at home. Just wait a year, mate. You're staying there. We'll discuss why, because I still don't know why that guy Malfoy stays there. But there we go. You're doing it next year, mate." So yeah, he was not looking over at Harry as he spoke. Crab and Gold chuckled. Harry was measuring out powdered spine of lionfish. Classic fish, you know, if ever think a lionfish. Malfoy being ever more unpleasant since the Quidditch match. Disgusted that Slytherin had lost, he tried to get everyone laughing at Harry, at how a wide-mouthed tree hog would soon be replacing Harry as Seeker. Then you realise nobody found this funny because it's bloody amazing. Like, don't see you catch a snitch with your mouth. Like, fair enough, catch with your hand, but yeah, massive whizzing fastball, you're going, swallowing it. Who needs your hand? That's even crazier. I think that's actually more skill than catching it with your hand, Malfoy. So yeah, no wonder no one found that funny, mate. Sore loser. I mean, but aren't we all when our team loses at sports? Like, if England lose at the World Cup, oh, I'll be making fun of whoever beats us. Stupid French people. Especially if the Americans beat us, I probably would. I don't think I'd come back from America beating us at a World Cup in a knockout round. You know, they beat us in 1950, drew us twice in the group stage, but who gives a crap? Still went further over both tournaments, I believe. Maybe not 2010, maybe we went out at the same time. Who cares? This is about Harry Potter, not World Cup. I'm getting distracted. Then you realise nobody found this funny because we're also impressed with the way Harry managed to get his booking broomstick. Yeah, that's another thing. The guy's broomstick were cursed. Still, no one's looked into that. I think I went on for like a massive thing last time, or you know, like no one looking into his broomstick being cursed. Like no one cares. Someone should have looked into this. You know, only dark magic. Even Hagrid said only dark magic. And it's like school just didn't give a crap. Stupid. Yeah, no. Actually, I'd be making fun. Why is he at this death trap, Harry? So Malfoy, jealous and angry, had gone back telling Harry about having no proper family. It's true, Harry wasn't going back to Privet Drive for Christmas. McGonagall had come round for a week before, making a list of students who would be staying. Harry signed up at once. He didn't feel sorry for himself at all. It probably was the best Christmas he'd ever had. And yeah, like, you know, I have, you know, judging by what happens at Christmas all the time, a lot of fun stuff, you know. All the turkeys we have, all the crackers, all, like, Christmas with Dumbledore, McGonagall, Hagrid over the Dursleys. Yes, please. Christmas with Dumbledore, Hagrid, and McGonagall over the Malfoys. Sign me up. God, you got a boring Christmas. I bet if you don't have fun. I bet they don't have games and like crackers and stuff. I bet they just sit there in a cold little empty house. Dobby cooking a turkey. I bet he can't cook a turkey very well, Dobby. You know, we know Dobby. He's a good guy, but I don't think he can cook turkeys. I'm just going to say it now. I don't think he can cook a turkey. So yeah, get me at Hogwarts with all the fun stuff. Ron and his brothers were staying too because Mr. and Mrs. Weasley were going to Romania to visit Charlie. Why can't we just go? I know it's a bit expensive, but they've not seen him for 3 months. Like, we've not seen the kids for a few months. Like, is Gingy going with them? That's a bit unfair. If Gingy's going, like, yeah, you guys stay at Hogwarts. Me, Gingy, we're going on holiday. You get to stay at Hogwarts, which is like a bit unfair. There's been things like, oh, maybe they were part of Dumbledore's plan just to keep Harry company. But I don't think so, because, again, in second year, they stay when have they got to visit Bill in second year, I think we got to visit Bill in second year in Egypt. So yeah, like just one, you can come home in third year. Psych. I don't think, you know, we don't go home till fifth year, do we? Just never see the parents do at this place. Like you just forget you have a mum and dad at this point. You're just always blooming staying at Hogwarts. Like Hermione's parents, she's going home this time. After this, she never goes home. Never sees her parents again after first year. I don't want to see them ever again. But no. So when they left the dungeon at the end of potions, they found a large fir tree blocking the corridor, two enormous feet sticking out, and a loud puffing sound told them it was Hagrid behind it. What sort of noises Hagrid? Like giant noises. Like what sort of, I'm guessing he's like, cause he's got strings, like it's his accent, but still. Weird puffing noise to distinguish that it's Hagrid. Ron's like, a giant fir. Hi Hagrid, you want any help? Oh, it's Hagrid, a bloody half giant struggling with it, Ron. What are you, a little 11-year-old, actually going to do, mate? And it's nice of you, but what are you going to do? Seriously. You go Wingardium Leviosa. Oh, actually, did you know I defeated a troll with Wingardium Leviosa so I can Wingardium Leviosa's tree? And yeah, it's a bit harsh making Hagrid carry all this stuff when Flitwick could literally, or anyone could like Accio Tree, Wingardium Leviosa. But yeah, again, a bit going back to that Filch, like it's all nice Dumbledore trying to make them part of it. But is it really fair when they can do magic and this could all be so easy? Poor Hagrid and Filch. Yeah, Hagrid like, nah, I'm all right, wrong, thanks, because I'm a half giant and I'm struggling. So what are you gonna do? Would you mind moving out of the way, Kim? Malfoy's cold drawl. Are you trying to earn yourself some extra money, Weasley? Hoping to be gamekeeper yourself when you leave Hogwarts? I suppose that hut of Hagrid's must seem like a palace compared to what your family are used to. Actually, Malfoy, the burrow is quite tall, got lots of rooms, even got a goal in the eye. It's got an attic. Hagrid's little hut doesn't have an attic, so maybe don't judge. They're poor, but they've got a big house. It's not a manor. And it can be a bit cosy in Ron's room. Out of all, like, everyone else's room seems really good and stuff, as we'll see in like second year, fourth year, sixth year. But even seventh. But yeah, Ron's room's just like some little box room. Poor Ron. Ron just goes, you know what? I've had enough. It might be Christmas, but I'm not in the festive mood. As he dived straight at Ron dived at Malfoy, and just as Snape came up the stairs, Weasley, Ron let go of Malfoy's robes. It was provoked, Professor Snape said Hagrid, sticky his hairy facing. Malfoy was insulting his family. Be that as it may, fancies against Hogwarts rules. 5 points from Gryffindor, Weasley. You'd better be grateful it isn't more. Move along, all of you. And so he's bullying about people's families, Pretty sure that might be against school rules. So once again, Snape justifying this stuff, Hagrid bears witness, he can just do it wrong. It's like, surely someone's got to run this pie like McGonagall. Like, okay, why did you take 5 points off Gryffindor, Snape? Is it just so you're ahead of the house? No, Weasley was fine. Okay, Malfoy, was he fine? Oh, well, I didn't see that. So you didn't take, no points off Malfoy. Weasley just attacked him for no reason whatsoever. He definitely wasn't bullying him, insulting his family. I didn't mention that. Why did you say that, Snape? Oh, no, I didn't say anything. Nice weather, yeah. So again, Snape just getting away with it. God damn it, Snape. Malfoy, Crabbe and Goyle push through, past the tree, scattering needles everywhere, smirking. This is Hogwarts. You live here, mate. You're just making a mess of your own house. This is your dungeons, isn't it? Really? You're the one making a mess when you've got to come back down these stairs and you've got to stand on these pines and needles. Hope it pierces your foot, you little brat. I'll get him, said Ron, gritting his teeth. One of these days I'll get him. Okay, bloody hell, Ron. Ron's going to be a serial killer in Crystal. Might not be now. Might not be next week. Might not even be in 5 years. But one day, I will murder Malfoy. And Ron Weasley is serving currently life in Azkaban. He murdered Malfoy in the year 2022. Just a little tidbit of information for you. Harry's like, I hate them both, Malfoy and Snape. Come on, cheer up, it's nearly Christmas, said Hagrid. Tell you what, come with me to see the Great Hall. It looks a treat. Well, not worth be funny, Hagrid. Harry's never had a happy Christmas. Guy gets like 50p coins and toothpicks and socks of Dudley's and Uncle Vernon. Not exactly a happy time for the boy, so, he ain't got a lot to cheer up about. It's like that Facebook meme. That guy posted a picture like, how about a smile? I've got nothing to smile about in my life. Oh, that's lovely. Nice and cool, because it is so warm today. So, Ron, Harry and Hermione follow Hagrid and his tree off to the Great Hall, where Professor McGonagall and Flitwick were busy with the Christmas decorations. The last tree. Put it in the far corner, would you? And again, Flitwick, McGonagall, you could do that with magic. He said you make a poor man with 12 massive Christmas trees, carry it to the far corner. It's just slavery. He gets paid pittance, probably. Poor Hagrid. Just use some magic. So the hall looks spectacular. Festoons of holly and mistletoe hung around the walls. Hopefully none of them bloody pervs are trying to kiss people. You know what school kids are like. 15, 16. Putting girls under pressure. You know what the 90s were like. Crazy time. There were no fewer than 12 towering Christmas trees still around the room, some sparkling with tiny icicles, some glittering with 100 candles. How big are these trees to have 100 candles? Also, candles on trees, you trying to burn the school down? God, this better be like lights, but we know electric doesn't work there. So bloody go burn the school down with that. Jesus. How many days until your holidays? Just one. Surely you should know that. You are a member of staff at the school. Surely you have like a timetable of like the terms. I'd work 365 days a week. Me got no time off. Poor Hagrid don't even know the times tales of school. The job he works. Like, so how long till we get a bit of a break from stupid kids? Oh, tomorrow is it? Like, yeah, should you not know that? Your staff at school, Hagrid. It's like, why do no adults know anything? What is the platform? 9 3/4. What? How long have you got left at school? What do you mean? You work at the school, you moron. That reminds Hermione. But we only have half an hour for lunch. We should go in the library. Oh yeah, you're right," said Ron, tearing his eyes away from Professor Flitwick, who had golden bubbles blossoming out of his wand and was trailing them over branches of a new tree. Golden bubbles on a tree? Wait, that says baubles, doesn't it? No, it says golden bubbles. But why have you got bubbles on a tree? Like, just get baubles. I thought I was going mad there, but yeah, golden bubbles. Who puts bubbles on a tree? You can pop them. Flitwick, not God. Get Hagrid to decorate them, with his hands. He won't be pulling bubbles out. Get some baubles because he can't do magic and get it look 10 times better. Silly Flitwick. So Hagrid's very confused for the library. Just before the holidays, bit king, aren't you? He's waiting to go like that. Nerds. Like Homer Simpson. You nerds, go to the library the day before you break up. Oh, we're not working, Harry told him brightly. Ever since you mentioned Nicholas Flamel, or if you play the Harry Potter PS1 game, Nicholas Flamel, always annoys me that. Like, he's a real person from real life. Surely someone, and also film, book, whatever's being out, they were doing the film, so someone could ask, like, Flamel? No, let's go with Flamel. We've been trying to find out who he is, and Hagrid was shocked. You what? Listen here, I've told you to drop it. It's nothing to do with you. It's nothing to you what that's dog's guarding. Actually, as you come to find it, is because Voldemort, Harry, the whole story there, Hagrid, and also Dumbledore's basically just wanting him to do it anyway. So everything to do with Harry. Dumbledore's just put you all as like little pawns, especially Professor McGonagall putting a chessboard there for a little game for Harry, basically for the year. So. We just want to know who Nicholas Flamel is, that's all, Hermione. Unless you tell us and save us for trouble, Harry added. Classic Harry. Yeah, I mean, you could just tell us though, you've already blurted out half of it, so what's the point of keeping the other half a secret? God, Hagrid, we're your friends. Try to really guilt him. Unless you so it's we must have been through hundreds of books already and we can't find him. Just give us a hint. I know I've raised him somewhere, and we have all the way back in chapter 7. The journey to platform 9 3/4. If only Harry had this book, he could just flip back a few pages where did I read that? I'm saying nothing, said Hagrid flatly. You'll just have to find out for yourselves then, said Ron, and they left Hagrid looking disgruntled and hurried off to the library. I can imagine Hagrid what? No, oh, that's not what I meant. Just give up. You got to admire him. He's yeah, Hagrid, you could tell us, just so blazing. Yeah, well, that's proper. You could just tell us. No, all right. See you later then, I guess. I might have to go get some more of that. Beautiful. So yeah, they had indeed been searching book for Flamel's name ever since Hagrid let it slip, because how else were they going to find out what Snape was trying to steal? God, if only they had the internet and Google now, or AI, God forbid, ChatGPT. If you've seen the meme of the disgraced former Prime Minister Boris Johnson, ChatGPT. I love AI. ChatGPT. They could find out Nicholas Flamel was in a second. Literally. Look, I mean, where's my phone? My phone is here. Siri, who is Nicholas Flamel? Nicholas Flamel was a French American. I don't think that's a very. There you go. Public draftsman, public documents such as right up. No, it's a French scribe. No, he's not a French scribe. He was oh god, probably wrong. Nicholas Flamel. Stupid. This is what I mean. This probably books are better. Stupid AI, getting it wrong. Anyway, the trouble was it's very hard to where to begin, not knowing what Flamel might have done to get him into a book. He wasn't in great wizards of the 20th century or noble magical names of our time. He was missing too from important modern magical discoveries, a study of recent developments in wizardry, and then of course there was the sheer size of the library. Tens of thousands of books, thousands of shelves, hundreds of narrow rows. And of course that is, if you're paying attention, Again, because this is a kid's book, no 11-year-olds going on Nicholas Flamel is. Maybe the adults reading it at the time were like, oh, Nicholas Flamel, he was like, obviously a Philosopher's Stone. You can probably put it together because I mean the title of the book. That's the beauty of kids. I didn't put together. Like, who's Nicholas Flamel? Like what is Nicholas Flamel? Like it's only the title of a bloody film. Obviously, I saw the film first, but like it's only the title of the book. Kids are stupid, is what I'm saying. You have to make it complex. Like you could literally put Nicholas Flamel and a Philosopher's Stone on the front, and be like, who's Nicholas Flamel? What's he done? But of course, all them books, 20th century, recent developments. The guys started doing this. Well, 605 years. We'll go get to that when we get to Nicholas Flamel in the next chapter, appropriately titled Nicholas Flamel. But yeah, I can always never tell if the book Hermione has. He recently celebrated 665th birthday. Is this book like brand new? The Wizard's book magically update each year, like bit magic for ages, or is this book like 20 years old, 10 years old, and he's actually close at 700 now? Always something I'm always intrigued by that. I can never remember searching up like when was the real Nicholas Flamel born. Just to understand, was he 665 in 1991? So let's actually do that while we're here. When was Nicholas Flamel born? He was born 1330, it says here, and died on the 22nd March 1498, 1418, it says, apparently. And Perenelli's wife died a few years. His wife died a few years before. So, 1418. So if we do 1991, take away 1480. Wait. Oh, she died 20 years before. Never mind. 573 actually he would have been, it says here. I mean, again, Google me what a big thing when she writing the books. Maybe you couldn't really find his age in books, but call it Wikipedia because everyone knows Wikipedia's always right. He actually would have only been 573. In the way I did it when he died. Bollocks. Why did I do it when he died? 1330. 991. Take away 1330. 661. Yeah, she would have been. Yeah. So really, still wrong. 4 years wrong. Still wrong. There you go. 661 he would have been, not 665. Unless it's deputed when he was born. Better call it that Wikipedia page. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, yeah, going back to it, Hermione took out a list of subjects and titles, while Ron strode down a row of books and started pulling them off shelves at random. Harry wandered over a restricted section. He'd been wondering for a while if Flamel wasn't somewhere in there. Unfortunately, he specifically signed note from one of the teachers to look in any restricted books. He'd never get one. I'm trying to think, first year, like McGonagall, no. Flitwick, maybe. Could charm Flitwick. Oh, what do you need? Just put some bullshit, Does Hagrid count as a teacher? Probably not. Madam Pinch probably looks really down on Hagrid, like, I'm not giving you a book because Hagrid wants one. God. The books containing powerful dark magic never taught Hogwarts and only read by older studying advanced defense against dark arts. So, it's books containing powerful magic, dark magic, never taught Hogwarts, but it was taught in advanced defense against dark arts. I guess it means the magic's not taught, like the actual dark magic, weirdly enough, and you have to obviously just read about it as theory. But technically, that means it is taught by the old students because they're doing it for defense against dark arts. Which one is it? You tell me. What are you looking for? But again, boy, I said this like a few episodes. Like this word comes up a lot in this, and then never again. Like the word boy, like referring to Harry. Like after this, it's like Potter or Harry Potter. What are you doing? No, what are you doing, boy? Seems a bit more like 1800s, like boy, or very posh private school. You boy, what day is it? It feels very Dickensian. Like Scrooge going, you boy, what day is it? I don't know if he says that, but I know he says what day it is. I don't know if he goes, you boy. But it's good voice. You boy. Could be a posh person in something. Jock Asma. I can also do shut if you don't mean it's Boris Johnson, just saying, come hire me. Madam Pink's librarian brandished a feathered duster at him. You better get out then. Go on, out. Wish he'd been a bit quicker and thinking up of some story. Harry left the library. He rung Hermione or he agreed, but better not ask Madam Pinks where they could find Flamel. They were sure she'd be able to tell them, but couldn't risk Snape hearing what they were up to. Like, just Snape just follow them around. Like, what do you think Snape does with all his day? Just follows Harry around. What is Potter doing? Where is he? What's he doing now? Oh God, Potter. I'm just checking if a package has been delivered for me. It's on the next row, so it might come any second. Yeah, just nothing better to do. Even with, like, where's Professor Snape? Why is he not teaching class? Oh, I heard he's following Harry Potter around again. It makes sense more like she might, like, Dumbledore, like, would she know about the Philosopher's Stone? would staff members know? Who knows? Like, at this point, they're not aware other staff members are involved other than Hagrid and Dumbledore. So Harry waited outside the corridor if the other two had found anything, but wasn't very hopeful. They'd been looking for a fortnight after all. But as they only had the odd moment between lessons, it wasn't surprising they found nothing. What they really need was a long search without Madam Pinks breathing down their necks. Oh, well, you're going to be just in luck. 5 minutes later, Ron and Hermione joined him, shaking their heads. You will keep looking, won't you, while I'm away? And send me an owl if you find anything. And you could ask your parents if they know who Flamel is. It'd be safe to ask them. Very safe, as they're both dentists. I just like, why would you ask, like, why would you ask them? You know, I guess, I mean, technically, they don't even know that Nicholas Flamel is, like, a famous thing. And obviously, in our world, he in, like, the Muggle world in this universe, he is, like, a genuine person people know of, but I don't know if Muggles would know, because if he's a wizard, obviously not all the wizard kind just keeps to himself. So, yeah, to me, makes no sense why they'd actually ask. Apparently, like, they're both dentists. What's that? You could say they're both Muggles. Just if they were doctors, would they know? Oh, they work at Tesco. Well, they might know. Bloody hell, we're not dentists. Like, what's the part about being dentists? It makes much more sense for us because they're both Muggles, rather than because we're both dentists. If they had any other profession in the world, they'd know Nicholas Flamel is, and it would not be safe. Then they're like, how do you know about Nicholas? Why are you asking? Is Voldemort after Philosopher's Stone? How do you know? Oh, we work at Tesco. Oh well. So yeah. Bloody hell, this is a very long chat here. We've still got 10 pages. We've been going like half an hour. Jesus. So once the holidays started, Ron and Harry were having too much good time to think about Flamel. They had the dormitory to themselves, and the common room was far emptier than usual, so they were able to get the good armchairs by the fire. They sat by the hour eating anything they could spare on a toasting fork. Bread. Okay, toast and bread, yeah. Where are you getting the bread from? Fred Josh sneaking off to the kitchens for it. I don't know. Maybe we still have bread in there. They were also eating crumpets, which cool. Love a good crumpet. Obviously, again, I don't think Americans have crumpets, which is odd. Like, what do you mean you have crumpets? It's little like spready, like bread. I don't know how best to describe it. Like, I'll tell you what Google says of it. What is a crumpet? It is a popular British griddle cake made from unsweetened flour and yeast. It's bread. It's this. Yeah, I don't really like them, but most people do. I'm just weird. They also had marshmallows, which is great. They were plotting ways of getting Malfoy expelled, which were fun to talk about, even if they wouldn't work. I'd love to hear what they were saying. Yeah, we'll pretend we've got a dragon, and we'll get him out at night and get him up to the astronomy tower, and he'll be expelled for sure. Then that will happen. Spoiler alert. Except the expelled party won't be expelled, sadly. Or we'll get him to try and kill Dumbledore and poison you, Ron, and curse Katie Bell. Oh, that'll get him expelled. Oh, it doesn't. He just doesn't come back. Okay. I mean, there is an arrest warrant for him, but didn't get expelled officially. So maybe that'll happen. Who knows? Ron also started teaching Harry wizard's chess. This was exactly like Muggle chess, except the figures were alive. So, like, why would they call it wizard's chess? Like, wouldn't they just call it chess? do they have normal chessboards, or do they just have like magic chessboards? And like, wouldn't they just call it chess rather? This is wizard. What do you want to play games of chess? No, I only play wizard's chess. What's different? Nothing. The pieces just move. Oh, so it's chess. Like that's like I was calling it Muggle football, and there's somehow a magical one where I don't know, the ball moves on its own. Never get that. Shouldn't it just be chess? It was like a lot like directing troops in battle. Ron's set was very old and battered. Like everything else he owned, it once belonged to someone else in his family. In this case, his grandfather. However, old chessmen weren't a drawback at all. Ron knew them so well he'd never get in trouble to do what he wanted. Harry played with chessmen Seamus Given had let him, and they didn't trust him at all. He wasn't a very good player yet, and they kept shouting different bits of advice to him, which was confusing. Don't send me there. Can't you see his knight? Send him. We can afford to lose him. And I sort of like this compared to like the thing we see in the book. The film. Does this mean like once the game's over, obviously, because in the book you see him like actually get smashed to pieces? Do they repair themselves like magically as soon as you say checkmate? They just repair themselves, or do you have to use reparo? And what is the magic there? Is what I'd like to understand. Is this right? This guy's gone past my house. I was next. I want to see if it's been delivered. But yeah, I'd love to know that, and I do like how they actually speak as well. Hopefully, we will see that in the. This guy's just gone completely the opposite. I was the next one. He was on my street, and now he's nowhere near me. So who knows? But there we go. So on Christmas Eve, Harry went to bed looking forward to the next day for food and fun, but not expecting any presents at all. And that's just awful, isn't it? Like an 11-year-old kid, imagine you at 11. I got an Xbox 360 when I was 11 for Christmas. A year younger than Harry, obviously, because I was in year 6, he's in like the year 7 high school, so I was still at primary school. But like, that's what I was looking forward to when I was 11. And then the next year I got all the Harry Potter games. I don't think he'd want that. He's not as big-headed as that, so yeah. But imagine actually not looking forward to anything at that age. How sad. When he woke early the next morning, however, the first thing he saw was a small pile of packages at the foot of his bed. Was it Santa Claus, or do the elves bring them? Maybe Santa's a wizard. And Ron says Happy Christmas. I never get this. Like, we don't really have. Who actually says Happy Christmas? It's Merry Christmas. You know. Even British, like we might say, "Oh, Happy Christmas" once, but it's not your go-to. If you're getting bored saying Merry Christmas to people, you might go, "Oh, Happy Christmas." It's wrong with Harry. Like he should be saying Merry Christmas here. I'm not having it. He said, "Slag wrong sleeper." Harry scrambled out of bed and pulled on his dressing gown. You too. Will you look at this? I've got presents. What do you expect? Turnips? Wrong. He's from an abusive family who don't love him. He has no living relatives or friends. What are you on about? He's probably taught you about this. You know, he's not a great listener, are you? Because he literally goes, "Oh, I actually," about 2 minutes later, "I actually wrote to my mum and said you weren't expecting anything. So you're aware of this. So yeah." Wrong. Pipe down, wrong. My classic hate of wrong. I do like him. So wrong turned to his own, which was a lot bigger than Harry's. Oh, that's Harry's fault. Oh, it's a bit bigger than mine. Fucking thought you were poor wrong. Harry picked up the top parcel. It was wrapped in thick brown paper, and scrolled across it was "To Harry from Hagrid." Inside was a roughly cut wooden flute. Hagrid had obviously whittled it himself. Harry blew it. It sounded a bit like an owl. Oh my god, did Hagrid kill an owl and put it in the flute? Also, what has Harry ever said to that Hagrid? Oh, I'd love to learn an instrument. What shit? I mean, it's got to come into usefulness, but compared to all the other presents he gets later on from Hagrid, like the moleskin thing, the pouch, a few other stuff, flute, bit of a shit present. It's more of a MacGuffin for later on when it comes to Fluffer. Nothing Harry's ever interested. He's a sports player. He's a cool guy. He's not Ron Burgundy with his little jazz flute, but there we go. A second parcel. Containing note: "Receive your message and enclose your Christmas present from Uncle Vernon and Aunt Petunia." Sellotape to a note was a 50p piece. What note would he have sent to them? Like, "Hi, hope you're all well. I love you guys. Not missing you. Not coming back for Christmas. See you never." Like, what's he putting to them? And also, why wasn't that mentioned? That'd be really fun, like a little trip to. Oh yeah, I'm sending a message to my aunt and uncle. You know, just telling them what's going on. And seriously, what's this guy doing? He's gone for lunch, I think. Just deliver my parcel. God, eat after mine. Um, so yeah, I'd love to know what he sent that message. That's friendly, said Harry. Ron was fascinated by 50 piece. Weird, he said. What a shape. This is money. Well, let's be honest, Ron. You've got coins. You know, you have got coins that probably look similar. And what weird shape? It's a. Is it an octagon? I've not seen 50 pence. Let me actually have a look. What I've not seen. I don't see coins anymore. You know, we don't use real money. 50p. It's 3, 4, 5, 6. It's fair. It is. It is a bit of a weird shape. Is it? Is it? It's 7 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7 sides. I don't know why I thought it was an octagon. 7 sides is weird. I'll give you that, Ron. I will give you that. But it's still not fascinating. Harry's like, you can keep it, laughing at how pleased Ron was. Hagrid and my uncle. So who sent these? I think I know who's that from, said Ron, going a bit pink and pointing a very lumpy parcel. My mum. I told you ain't expecting your presents. And oh no, she's made you a Weasley jumper. Harry had torn open the parcel to find a thick hand-knitted sweater in emerald green and a large box of homemade fudge. Every year she makes us a jumper, said Ron, unwrapping his, and mine's always maroon. That's really nice of her, said Harry, trying the fudge, which was very tasty. God, what? Yeah, this is again like the thing with like Molly. Like she gets everything else right for everyone, but Ron doesn't like corned beef. He gets corned beef. He doesn't like maroon. He gets the maroon. Is he voicing this? Like, oh, mum, I don't like maroon, or is she just like? Is he just like I'm too awkward because she's put all this effort in? Not gonna say oh. Who knows? So he got some chocolate frogs from Hermione. And then this is the reason we're on this chapter, and the only thing that matters, this last present. Harry picked it up and felt it was very light. He unwrapped it. Something fluid and silvery grey went slithering to the floor. Oh my God. Someone's pranked Harry, put some semen in a parcel. But no, it's thankfully not. Where it lay gleaming in folds. Ron gasped. I've heard of these, he said in a hushed voice, dropping the box of every flavour beans he got from Hermione. If that's where I think it is, they're really rare and valuable. What is it? Harry picked up a silvery cloth off the floor. It was strange to touch, like a water woven into material. It's an invisibility cloak, said Ron. I'm sure it is. Try it on. Harry threw the cloak around his shoulders, and Ron gave a yell. It is. Look down. Harry looked down at his feet, but they're gone. He dashed to the mirror, showing off his reflection when he looked back at him. Just his head suspended in midair. Now, that's a classic prank that you can do on Draco Malfoy in 3rd year, maybe, by accident. He pulled the cloak over his head, and his reflection vanished completely. There's a note. Harry pulled the cloak off, seized the letter. It was written in narrow, loopy writing he'd never seen before. There were following words. Your father left this in my possession before he died. It's time it was returned to you. Use it well. A very Merry Christmas to you. I just want to check something. Because, you know, like the letter for Harry, is that not Dumbledore right? I know McGonagall signed them, but doesn't like the actual front back, the Mr. H. Potter of number 400 fruit. You know, isn't that Dumbledore's handwriting? Harry, have you forgot? Or is that an error? Or am I being stupid? Let me know. So there was no signature. I was staring at the note. Ron was admiring the cloak. I'd give anything for one of these, he said. Anything. All right, give me your maroon jumper. Psych. What's the matter? Nothing, said Harry. He felt very strange. Who had sent the cloak? Had it really belonged to his father? Before he could say do anything else, the dormitory door flung open. Friend George bounded in. Harry stuffed the cloak quickly out of sight. He didn't feel like sharing it. And yet, it's interesting again, obviously, Dumbledore, obviously he's aware this is a Deathly Hallow. He's shocked that like James has had it. He's like, oh, that makes so much sense. But obviously he had it to test it when James was in hiding. And is it appropriate to give to an 11? Like, does Dumbledore think Harry's going to use it? Oh, he's just going to use it to sneak to the kitchen. You know, classic Harry Potter stuff. You know, all the other kids, they can't sneak out of class at night. You know, we'll give Harry Potter a pass. You know, he's funny. He's got a little cloak. He won't be causing any trouble. Harry's going, You know, Harry doesn't really use the cloak all that often. I feel like it sounds like James Potter was using it to sneak out to like the kitchens. Harry uses it like once a book. You know, oh shit, yeah, my cloak, I could use it now. Like, and then towards later on, he might use it when he's with Dumbledore, you know, to keep safe. But yeah, most of the time, it's like, oh, I guess I'll use it to sneak out Hagrid's for once. I'd be using it every day. Like, yeah, I'll sneak off. You know, come really handy when the sort of like, yeah, when they want to sneak off to see Hermione in Chamber of Secrets, put the cloak on. But yeah, I wonder what, like, Dumbledore's like, yeah, this kid's going to have a great time at school. I'm going to make sure he does, because he's got an invisibility cloak now. Give him a broomstick, give him an invisibility cloak. It's Harry freaking Potter. We're going to give him everything. Roll out the red carpet. Merry Christmas. So there you go, guys. Frank George said it right. Hey, look, Harry's got a Weasley jumper too. And this is one of my favourite lines. They had one with a large yellow F, and the other was a large yellow G. Harry's is better than ours, though, said Fred, holding Harry's jumper up. She obviously makes more of an effort if you're not family. Why aren't you wearing yours? Ron, come over. The lover you're wrong. I hate maroon. Ron moaned half-heartedly as he put it over his head. You haven't got a letter on yours, George observed. I suppose she thinks you don't forget your name, but we're not stupid. We know we're called Gred and Forge. And I always say that. It's like, anytime I refer to friend George, I'm always like, yeah, Gred and Forge, classic guys. Percy Weasley, like, what's all that noise? Looking disapprovingly, he kept like, it's Christmas, mate, lighting up, you loser. He too was carrying a lumpy jumper over his arm, which Fred sees. P for prefect. Get it on, Percy. Come on, we're all wearing ours. Even Harry got one. I don't want, said Percy thickly, as between forced his jumper over his head, knock his glasses askew. And you're not sitting with prefects there. Christmas is time for family. And sadly, as we know, it's a bit of a limited family time for Percy, as he's got to fall out with him, and then, you know, what happens to Fred. So make this Christmas count. Make it count. Percy, don't know why I forgot your name. I literally just said it. They from Matt Percy from the room, and pinned his arms to his side by his jumper. And then we go to the Christmas feast. Harry never had all his life such a Christmas dinner. 100 fat roast turkeys. How many people are here? Like, me and my family, there's 5 of us. No, it's 4. Me, my dad, and my 2 sisters. 4 of us there. We can share a turkey. You know, there's what? Just in Gryffindor, from what we're aware, you know, there might be more, but it seems to get less and less each year. There's probably about 20, 30 students. They need, what, 6 turkeys max? What are we having a turkey ourselves? There's definitely not over 100 people still there. And, you know, if we were that, there's definitely not 400 people there. Because there's only about did we say about 280 per school? In the school, 300? So why did you get 100 turkeys? What a waste. What a waste of turkeys. I guess it is Hagrid. Maybe he has like 4 turkeys a night or something. I don't know what Hagrid eats. Crazy guy. 100 fat roast turkeys, mountains of roast and boiled potatoes, platters of fat chipolatas, terrines of buttered peas. Like, again, this seems too much for the amount of people there. Fair enough if all the schools there. I still think hundreds is way too much, but who might argue? But when everyone's gone home for Christmas, way too bloody much. Silver boats of thick, rich gravy and cranberry sauce. Stacks of wizard crackers. Again, wouldn't they just call these crackers? Calling things wizards when it's your world. It's just odd, like, wizard school. You know, I get that one because you go to school forward, but yeah, wizard crackers, wizard drink, wizard food, wizard chess, wizards. Yeah, you just call it crackers, wouldn't you? Because it's your stuff, like it's your ordinary stuff. But anyway, yeah, wizard crackers. Every feet along the table. These fantastic crackers were nothing like the feeble muggle ones the Dursleys usually bought with their little plastic toys. Leave my plastic toys alone and their flimsy paper hats. Right, don't go insulting the paper hats. They're the best thing about Christmas. I love wearing my little purple, gold, green paper hat for about 20 minutes before my massive diameter of head rips it. Don't ever make fun of that. Oh. Harry pulled a wizard cracker with Fred. It didn't just bang, it went off with a blast like a cannon. And see, but I think that's too much. It just needs to be a little bang. It doesn't need to be going off like a cannon. You know, you show your Christmas dinner, there's people talking. Probably gives people a heart attack. There's a guy who's like 120 at this table in Dumbledore. You know, there we go, my sunglasses. He didn't need banging like that. God. So yeah, it didn't go. It engulfed them with a cloud of blue smoke. I just think that's a bit unnecessary. I will not lie. While from inside exploded a rear admiral's hat. I like, fair enough. Maybe it is better than I don't know. Maybe I still think I want to wear my little crown. Um, Several live white mice. Really uncalled for. We don't. Why do we need mouse in a school? Like I want one. I'm sure it'd be dinner, a Christmas dinner, and there's a bloody mice running around the table. So unhygienic, Hogwarts. Um, God. Um, so yeah, didn't need that. Up on the high table, Dumbledore has swapped his pointy hat for a flowered bonnet. I was chuckling merry at joke Professor Flitwick had just read him. I hope it was like, what do snowmen do for fun or something? I don't know the answer. You tell me. I've just made that up. You create the punchline. Um, there were flaming Christmas puddings followed with a turkey. Personally, he broke his teeth on a silver sickle embedded in his slice. God, better get yourself to Hermione's parents. The dentist, you know. Um, Harry watched Hagrid get redder and redder in the face. He called for more wine. Surely they should be like, oh, Hagrid, mate, you're high enough, cutting you off and like, dumb dog. No, Hagrid, you've got to go home. You're not going to ruin this Christmas, Hagrid. Do you remember last year when you slept on my couch and you threw up everywhere? No, get back to your hut. But he kisses Professor McGonagall on the cheek, who, to Harry's amazement, giggled and blushed. Her top hat lopsided. God, she must be pissed. She probably woke up the next morning mortified. Oh, God, did Hagrid kiss me on the cheek? And oh, God. Oh, yeah, that's very un-Minerva McGonagall, isn't it? That, like, giggling and smiggling. Where's it gone now? I'm tracking this guy. How's he ended up over there? He's just driving. I think he must do deliver this. I'm convinced of it. Either he's better not. Um, so, yeah. Uh, Yeah, very Minerva McGonagall that. So when Harry finally left the table, he was laden down with a stack of things like crackers, including a pack of non-explodable luminous balloons. Do love them. A Grown Your Own Warts kit, classic Malfoy prank, I think, and his own wizard chess set, which is too fair for like some cheap. You've got some good stuff there. How big are these crackers for this stuff to pop out though? The white mice had disappeared, and Harry had a nasty feeling they were going to end up as Mrs. Norris' Christmas game. That's not a nasty feeling. That's good. You don't want mice running around. God, horrible. Harry and the Weasley spent a happy afternoon having a furious snowball fight in the grounds. Then, too cold, wet, and gasping for breath, they returned to the fire in the common room, where Harry broke his new chess set by losing spectacularly to Ron. He suspects he wouldn't have lost so badly if Percy hadn't been trying to help him so much. Yeah, I reckon Percy's probably the guy. Probably thinks he's really good. Like, I'm know it all. I'm a prefect, you know. I know everything, and he just gets battered by his brother. Like, yeah, nothing worse than when someone's more in your ear when you're playing a game or like doing something. Like, oh yeah, do that, do this. Oh, so annoying. We have more turkey because there's 100 turkeys to eat, obviously. So we've got some turkey sandwiches, some more crumpets. How are we eating all this? Like, honestly, after I've had a Christmas dinner, I'm full for 3 days. I'm not eating much for it, but they're having more turkey, crumpets, and trifle and Christmas cake. God, I won't be moving. I'm not going for a nighttime excursion walking around the school after all this. I can tell you that now. Now have I still got blooming 7 pages to go? I only read 3 pages. How many pages actually of this chapter have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages already. It is a long chapter. So yeah. So we've done that. We were too sleepy to do everything except sit and watch Percy chase friend George around Griffin Tower because they've stolen his prefect badge. How have they got the energy to run around after all this food? I'd be sat like, oh, okay, go on, let's go to bed. It'd been Harry's best Christmas day ever, yet something had been nagging at the back of his mind all day. Not until he climbed into bed where he was free to think about it. The invisibility cloak, and whoever sent it. Ron, full of turkey and cake, had nothing mysterious to bother him. Fell asleep. He's probably got loads of stuff like, is my rat a man? No, he doesn't know anything about that. But that probably keeps him up for a few nights after he finds out. Harry leant over the side of his own bed, pulled the cloak out from under it. His father's. This had been his father's. He let the material fall over his hands, smoother than silk, light as air. Use it well, the Nord said. So I'm not going to use it well at all. Just going to use it for boring stuff like sneaking at the library. He had to try it now. He slipped out of bed, wrapped the cloak around him. He only saw the moonlight shadows. It was a foggy feeling. use it well. Yeah, again, Harry, you're not using it well. I'm not going to lie, mate. Your dad would use it well for fun stuff. You've got to sneak it in the library. Your dad would think you're a right nerd. Suddenly, Harry felt wide awake. The whole of Hogwarts was open to him in his cloak, except probably still the three-headed dog. I still won't go in there, mate. Even though you're invisible, if it bites your direction, you probably will get hurt. Excitement flooded through him. He could go anywhere, and Filch would never know. Well, Harry, we're about to find out. You're not very good at this. Should Harry wake him? Something held him back. His father's cloak. He felt that this time, the first time, he wanted to use it alone. Okay. Your father never used it alone. He always used to have friends with him. Use your friends, Harry. Use your friends well, is what he should say. Anyway, so he crept down the dormitory, and he was like, where do I go? He stopped, his heart racing, and it came to him. The restricted section of the library. He'd be able to read as long as he liked, as long as it took to find out who Flamel was. He set off drawing the invisibility cloak tight around him as he walked. Like, come on, Harry, of all the places you could go, you got the library. God. The library was pitch black. Harry lit a lamp to see the rows of books. Also, wouldn't she lock the restricted section? Doors, and it won't be a Lohomora because anyone could just try to sneak in, just walking, even without a note. And also, why is the library open at night? Surely again, isn't there a door that locks it? Hogwarts and its lack of security at times. It was right at the back of the library, stepping carefully over the rope, which separated these books from the rest of them. There's a rope, guys. Sorry, I forgot. So I take it all back. There is security. There's a rope. Well done, Hogwarts. Restricted. For the rest of that, he held up his lamp to read titles, but didn't tell him much. The peeling faded gold letters spelled words in languages Harry couldn't understand. All right, Harry. Bloody hell, you racist. This restricted section is full of non-English books. I'm in the wrong section. I'm in the international section of the library. I don't want German books. I want dark books. Some had no title at all. One book had a dart in it that looked horribly like blood. And that the other book in the film where it's like the famous fire eater. Why is there a famous fire eater in this book? I don't know. But yeah, that book where he pulls it out and the face comes out. It's like, oh, used to terrify me as a kid. That used to terrify me. The hairs on the back of Harry's head neck prickled. Maybe he was imagining it, maybe not. But he thought there was a faint whispering coming from the books, and that's where that idea come from of the as well, they knew someone was there who should be. Oh, we'll go tell Filch. The books will go tell Filch. He started somewhere, setting the lamp down carefully on the floor. He looked along the bottom shelf for an interesting looking book. A large black and silver volume caught his eye. He pulled it out with difficulty because it was very heavy. And balancing his knee, let it fall open. A piercing, blood-curdling shriek split the silence. The book was screaming. So this is where that part comes from. It doesn't mention the face. It mentions the screaming. But the face, again in the book, that's just the. It's like Voldemort's face as well, like from the back of his head. Harry snapped his shut, but the shriek went on and on, high, unbroken, ear-splitting note. He stumbled backwards and knocked over his lamp, which went out at once. Thank God it didn't start a fire. Like if this is a lamp where it's got lit, it could start a fire and set all the books on fire. And Harry Potter, you'd be got to Azkaban for burning Hogwarts down, which or burning the library down. Either way, you've been royally fucked, mate. He heard footsteps coming down the corridor. Also, how small is Hogwarts? Like Filch is just constantly always where Harry's meant to be. Fair enough, last time he knew where Draco Malfoy sort of tipped him off, but this time he could be anywhere in the school. Yeah, he's at the library. He ran for it. He passed Filch almost in the doorway. Filch, pale eyes wild, looked straight through him, and Harry slipped on Filch's outstretched arm and sneaked up the corridor. Again, shouldn't he hit if Harry's like running? Shouldn't his feet? He's invisible, but sure that would be heard. But who knows? Who knows? I certainly don't know, obviously. He came to a sudden halt in front of a tall suit of armour. He'd been so busy getting away from the library, he hadn't paid attention to where he was going. Perhaps because it was dark, he didn't recognise where he was at all. There was a suit of armour near the kitchens. How do you know where the kitchens are? It seems like Harry doesn't know where the kitchens are. In later books, like about the pet fruit of the pear. But in this book, he seems to know where the kitchens are. And then Goblet of Fire's like, what, the kitchens are there? How odd. Have I found a continuity error? Ho, ho, ho. Anyway. He then hears a voice. You asked me to come direct to you, Professor, if anyone was wandering around at night. Someone's being in the library, the restricted section. Harry felt the blood drain out of his face. Wherever he was, Filch must know a shortcut because his soft, greasy voice was getting nearer. To his horror, it was Snape who replied. Yeah, you reckon? Do you reckon? Obviously, in this book, seems like the only book they seem to talk, and afterwards, like Snape's a bit of a derogatory dick to Filch. It seems like they would be good friends. It seems they do talk a lot in this book, but after this, Snape doesn't really like Filch and thinks a bit less of him. But you think they're just miserable gits who hate children. They'd be friends in a place like this. The restricted section, well, they can't be far. We'll catch them. Harry stood rooted to a spot as Filch and Snape came around the corner. They couldn't see him, of course. Thanks for explaining that he's still invisible, We need that clarification. But it was a narrow corridor, and if they came much closer, we'd not right into him. The cloak didn't stop him becoming solid. Yeah, quite aware of that. He backed away as quietly as he could. A door stood ajar to his left. It was his only hope. He squeezed through it, holding his breath, trying not to move, and to his relief, he managed to get inside the room without noticing anything. They walked straight past him. He looked like, so the room he's in, it's a disused classroom. The dark shapes of desks and chairs were piled up. An upturned waste paper basket. See, that sounds like a very American term. We just call it a bing, wouldn't we? Like, waste paper basket. It's like a classic Michael McIntyre sketch where Americans have to like specify. So we have the pavement. You walk on the pavement. They have the sidewalk. It tells them they have to walk on the side because they were walking in the middle of the road before and get hit by stuff. We have horse riding. You guys have horseback riding because they were trying to ride the legs, the head, but no, it's got to be on the back. They had bings, paper bings, but they were just putting normal paper in. We need to explain it's waste paper basket. So yeah, don't like that terminology there. Should not be said that. Anyway, but propped against the wall facing him was something that didn't look like it belonged there. Something looked like it just someone had put it there to keep it out of the way. It was a magnificent mirror, as high as the ceiling, with an ornate gold frame, standing on two clawed feet. There was an inscription carved around the top: Erised stra udratu ut ube kafu on owashi. And obviously, if you read that backwards, it says, "I show not your heart, not your face, but your heart's desire." I show not your face, but your heart's desire. Of course, Mirror of Erised spelled backwards is desire. So yeah, there you go. It's not crazy lying. It's just spelled backwards because it's a mirror. Do you get it? Mirror. And when stuffing a mirror, it looks backwards. Anyway, his panic faded now. There was no sign of Filch. Harry moved nearer to the mirror, wanting to look at himself, but seeing no reflection again. Very weird. He's really obsessed with this. Oh, I love being invisible. There's no reflection. Ha ha ha. He stepped in front of it. He had to clap his hands to his mouth to stop himself screaming. He whirled around. His heart was pounding, far more furiously when the booker screamed, for he'd not only seen himself in the mirror, but a whole crowd of people standing behind him. But this room was empty. Breathing very fast, he turned back to the mirror. There he was, reflecting it, white and scared looking, and there reflected behind him were at least 10 others. Harry looked over his shoulder, but still no one was there. Or were they all invisible too? Yes, everyone's just wearing invisibility cloak. This is an invisibility cloak party. That's what the mirror's there for. Dumbledore's just pulled out in the middle of the night, stuck it in a random classroom because he wants you to have an invisibility cloak party. Obviously not, Harry, you moron. But it is interesting, the invisible, like the mirror. Why is the mirror just there? Because he says it's going to be moved to a new home, but has it always been like? Was it not in the chamber for the Philosopher's Stone before? Is Dumbledore just worked out his magic? Why is it just in this classroom? Did Dumbledore put it there for Harry? How do you know he'd go to this classroom? So many questions. I always think like, fair enough, he's just stumbled across it, and Dumbledore sort of wants him to stumble across it so he knows how it works. But the odds of him going in this one classroom all year, is it just been there waiting for Harry all year? Like, oh God, when will he go to this bloody classroom? I don't know. Maybe you guys do. Let me know. So, he looked in the mirror again. A woman standing right behind him. His reflection was smiling at him and waving. He reached out to her hand and felt the air behind him. If she was really there, he'd touch her. Their reflection was so close together, but he only felt the air. She knew always existed only in this mirror. Harry's discovering stuff here. She was a very pretty woman. She had dark red hair and eyes. Her eyes are just like mine, Harry thought. And she looked close to the glass. Bright green, exactly the same shape. But then he noticed she was crying. Smiling, but crying at the same time. The tall, thin, black-haired man standing next to her put his arm around her. He wore glasses, and his hair was untied and it stuck up the back, just like Harry's did. Harry was so close to the mirror now that his nose was nearly touching it. Mum, he whispered. Dad. They looked at him, smiling, and slowly Harry looked into their faces of other people in the mirror and saw other pairs of green eyes, other noses, even a little old man who had Harry's knobbly knees. Oh, poor Harry with his little knobbly knees. That's sad. I wouldn't want knobbly knees, I'll tell you now. Harry was looking at his family for the first time in his life. I hope the Dursleys are maybe that'd be funny if the Dursleys were there. That's what gave it away. Like the Dursleys. Also, if there's 10 people, how many generations are we going back? Like, fair enough, your family, but shouldn't your family just be like your parents and grandparents, like of each side? So it should be 6 people there, not like 10. Who are the others? Like, knowing I'd like brothers and sisters, I don't want to really give a shit about my great granddad. No offense to whoever he was, but I'm not that bad. I'm not asked about me again. Maybe my grandma and granddad, me mum. Not me great granddad. Like, fuck that guy. Am I right? The Potters smiled and waved, and also not just for Potters. There'll be some Evans there. There'll be some Evans there. His hands pressed flat against the grass as well. He was hoping to fall right through and reach them. He had a powerful ache inside him, half joy, half terrible sadness. How long he'd stood there, he didn't know. The reflections did not fade. He looked and looked until the distant noise brought him back to his senses. He couldn't stay here. He had to find his way back to bed. He tore his eyes away from his mother's face, whispered, "I'll come back," and hurried from the room. I just find that so lovely. Like, out of all the things Harry desires and wanting in the world, like that innocence of just, I just want my family. I've never known my family. 11 years old as well. I just think that's quite amazing. Like, how that's. This guy's just. I was next delivery, and now I'm no longer. I don't know, but yeah, like 11 years old, of all the things to want, like I'm not gonna lie, 11 years old, my heart's probably like playing football, rich, famous, typical. And he's like, I just want my family, to be honest. I just want somebody to love me. And it's so touching. It's like you feel a bit of a dick thinking, oh yeah. Because even now, I've lost quite a bit of my family. I still probably want, other stuff. Which is awful, isn't it? But yeah, there we go. Who knows? Like, I don't know what I'd look. Would it be? Cause it's not what you think your desire is as well. Like, it's like the deepest, most desperate desire of your heart, as Dumbledore will explain. And sometimes you don't actually know what that is until you looked in the mirror. So yeah, I probably hope it'd be something nicer than what I think it probably would be. But who knows? Anyway. Ron was cross at him. He was like, "You could have woken me up. You can come tonight. I'm going back. I want you to show the mirror." "I like seeing Mum and Dad," said Ron eagerly. "I want to see all your family, all the Weasleys. You'll be able to show me your older brothers and everyone. You can see them any old time. You just come round my house in the summer." It's like, yeah, God, we don't need a mirror for that. My family are alive, Harry. Ha ha ha. But also, I find it quite cute that these 11. Oh, it's a mirror. It just showed Harry's family. Oh, it must just be a mirror that shows your family. Like, what? It's a family mirror. It's like why would it be that? Like, you morons. Anyway, maybe it only shows dead people. Like, Jesus, Ron. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. My parents and everyone's dead. Shame about not finding Flamel though. Have some bacon or something. Why aren't you eating? Harry couldn't eat. He'd seen his parents. We'll be seeing them again tonight. He'd almost forgotten about Flamel. It didn't seem very important anyway. Who cared what that three-headed dog was guarding? What did it matter if Snape stole it, really? Well, Harry, I'm going to let you into a secret. It'd mean loads of people dying and Voldemort being back and taking over. And literally, within 12 hours of seeing this mirror, Harry's almost going mad already. He couldn't eat. He's like not focusing. Like Dumbledore's description, like people just go mad. Like as cute as it is, like it is like the hold of it going straight away is quite crazy. Like Ron's like, "You look odd, mate," and he's like, "Gee, wow, it's already happening." Like Harry's already going mad. What Harry feared the most was Dementors. That's why it's his boggart. No. He might not be able to find the way back again with Ron covered in the cloak too. They had to walk much more slowly. They tried retracing Harry's route from the library, wandering around dark passageways for nearly an hour. Again, his school's like Filch is always where you just don't want him to be, but it takes these guys like an hour to walk around the school. Um, I'm freezing, said Ron. Let's go back, forget it. No, Harry hissed. I know it's here somewhere. They passed the ghost of a tall witch gliding in the opposite direction. Just as Ron was moaning about his feet were dead, Harry spotted the suit of armour. It's here, yes. They pushed the door open. Harry dropped the cloak, round his shoulders, and ran to the mirror. Oh, hello, Mummy. I brought a little friend. Oh, God, a Weasley. God, hanging out with Rifflaff like the Weasley. Why, yeah, I wonder why they don't talk. Can a mirror talk? Probably not. Mirrors can talk in Harry Potter, actually, but maybe this mirror. It's before the invention of a talking mirror, obviously. Became a sight of him. See, Harry whispered. I can't see anything. Look at them all. There are loads of them. I can't see you. Looking at it properly. Go and stand where I am. Harry stepped aside, but with Ron in front of the mirror, he couldn't see his family anymore. Just Ron. Oh, bloody! I don't want to see Ron. He's like, get away, Rag. I don't want to see you. I can see you any old time. Ron, though, was staring transfixed at his image. Look at me. Can you see all your family staring around you? No, I'm alone, but I'm different. I look older. And I'm head boy. What? I'm wearing a badge like Bill used to. And I'm holding my house cup and Quidditch cup and Quidditch captain too. Ron tore his eyes away from the splendid sight to look excitedly. Do you think this mirror shows a future? Jesus, Ron, you really are one insensitive little bugger, are you? This guy's family's dead. He's like, how can it? Oh, my family are dead. He's like, oh shit, yeah. Think before you speak, Ron. And they get into a bit of a scuffle here. Like, let me have a look. You had it all yourself last night. Give me a bit more time. You're only holding the Quidditch cup. What's interesting about that? I don't see my parents. Well, Harry, you're going to become obsessed with winning the Quidditch cup, mate, over the next few years. So it's pretty exciting to you. And you really have gone mad if you're saying what's exciting about the Quidditch cup. You're in the Quidditch team, you know. Yeah, this mirror's already drove him mad. It's already driving Ron mad. Like, all he's seeing is him just like holding all the stuff. Again, just that wrong sort of thing of like just wanting to do everything his brothers did. Like he said, it didn't matter if he did them first, but if he did all of them, which ironically he does help win the House Cup this year. He wins the House Cup with the 50 points. It helps him win it next year with his 200 points for saving the stopping the Chamber of Secrets. And the Basilisk. Well, that sort of heroics. He does win the Quidditch Cup. He does become a prefect. The only thing he doesn't do is become a Quidditch captain. Obviously, that is like Harry's role. So you know what? And then also he does like help defeat Voldemort in the most epic way ever. So yeah, really, don't worry, Rob. You surpassed all your brothers in my eyes, especially Percy. Don't worry about that guy. He doesn't become head boy, of course, because he doesn't go back for his 7 years. Like, I'm not going back to school. So we get into a bit of a fight. He's like, don't push me. Sudden noise outside the corridor put an end to their discussion. They hadn't realised how loudly they'd been. Quick, run through the cloak over them as the looming size of Mrs. Norris came round the door. I wonder if she can see anything in the Mirror of Erised. Her and Filch kissing. Because obviously there's a bit of a fear like her and Filch like a couple or something. Who knows? But yeah, I can imagine that. Can you? They stood quite still, both thinking the same thing. Did the cloak work on cats? Well, maybe she's actually a maledictus and she was a human, and now she's just stuck as a cat. A cat. This isn't safe. She might have gone for Filch. I bet she heard us. Come on. Ron pulled Harry out of the room. So we go to the next year now. The snow still hadn't melted. Want to play chess, Harry? No. Why don't you go down and visit Hagrid? No, you go. And Harry's like gone fully mad here. And Ron's like, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking about that mirror. Don't go back. Not tonight. Harry's just gone fully mad. And he's like, why not? And Ron, who sometimes is a bit, quite not on the ball, unlike Hermione, who's like, knows when something's up. He's like, I don't know, I've just got a bad feeling about it. Anyway, you've had too many close shaves already with Filch, Snape, and Miss Norris. So what if they can't see you? What if they walk into you? What if you knock something over? You sound like Hermione. I'm serious, Harry. Don't go. Well, I'm gonna go. I'm invisible, Ron. I'm my own person. But you know who else is invisible? Dumbledore. Because they go there for the third night. He found his way much more quickly. He's walking fast, making more noise than what was wise. But he didn't meet anyone. And there he was, mother and father smiling, and one of his grandfathers nodding happily. Harry sank to sit on the floor in front of the mirror. with nothing stopping him staying here all night, except back again, Harry. Harry felt as though his insides had turned to ice. He looked behind him. Sitting on one of the desks by the wall was none other than Albus Dumbledore. And this is the first time they've ever met and spoke, which is quite crazy. You think how close they are in like a few later books, but the first few books, they don't really speak. Like Dumbledore, in Chamber, for example, speaks to him. Obviously, when they arrive by the car, sort of tell him off. When Miss Norris, Justine, sort of indirectly talks to him at Hagrid's. We'll count that. And then at the end, and then Prisoner, basically just at the end, when it's captured, don't really speak throughout the rest of the year, do they? Goblet speak a fair bit. Order, obviously, for reasons we know about. He ignores him for pretty much 99% of the year. Half-Blood Prince they do spend a lot of time ago, but yeah, in this one, it's this meeting here and the end when he's in the hospital wing. So we don't speak too much. So this is exciting, isn't it? The first meeting. Dumbledore's obviously been sitting out, figuring and wondering about this guy, and like he's meeting him now, and he now knows what is true. Because this is again part of like the Dumbledore's big plan that the Super Carlin brothers have, where it's like, blah blah, yeah. I didn't see you, sir. Strange how short-sighted being invisible can make you. Also, he has got glasses. You're making an eyesight joke 'cause he's got glasses. And he was relieved to see he was smiling. So said Dumbledore, slipping off the desk, set on the floor. That's pretty cool, like for a 120-year-old man, like just sitting on the desk like this. Sup, bro? You, like hundreds before you, have discovered the delights of the Mirror of Erised. So again, has it just been sat in this room all this time? Like, how did Tom Riddle never discover the Mirror of Erised? Like, surely he would have wanted to discover this, because we do know it was at Hogwarts when Dumbledore was about, when Newt was about and stuff, as we saw. So, like, this feels like something. Was it in the Room of Requirements for a long time? Dumbledore dust it off, get it out, but he sort of implies he doesn't know about the Room of Requirements, but Ben does. So bit of a continuity plot there with Goblet of Fire, but maybe you just try to like tip Harry off, like, yeah, there's this room that can turn you into anything you want. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't know it was called that, but I expect you realise now what it does. Well, it shows me my family, and it shows your friend Wrong himself as head boy. How did you? I don't need a cloak to become invisible. That's why I gave you yours back, just for fun. Now, can you think of what the Mirror of Erised shows us at all? And again, this sort of fits into Dumbledore's trying to like courting Harry, like, look, I reckon you got to run into this again. You need to understand how it works, because only if you understand how it works, you'll be able to get the stone, save the world. Really, technically, it's actually a bit more dangerous, because if you just didn't show up and the stone was in the mirror, like if you weren't wanting the stone not to fall into Voldemort's hands, but just keep it safe, it could have just stayed in the mirror. You never got it. Instead, you get it out of the mirror, and it could actually fall into Voldemort's hands, which makes it 20 times more dangerous. But there you go. Let me explain. The happiest man on earth would be able to use the mirror like a normal mirror. That is, he would look in and see himself exactly how he is. Does that help? How you thought? I hear this, like, when I'm at work and my manager or a higher up manager, and I'm a manager, like, so senior managers, like, ask you a question like, oh, fuck, this is like, seems like we want your opinion here. And he's like, oh, God, what do I say? I don't want to sound stupid. And he's like, it shows us what we want, whatever we want. Yes and no. It shows us nothing more than our deepest, most desperate desires of our heart. You, who have never known your family, see them standing around you. Ronald Weasley, who is always being overshadowed by his brothers, see himself standing alone, the best of them all. However, this mirror gives us neither knowledge or truth. Men have wasted away before it, entranced by what they see, or even being driven mad, but not knowing what it shows is real or even possible. And obviously, Harry, yours, just to clarify, is not real and it's not possible. Your parents are dead. Let it go. The mirror will move back to a new home tomorrow, Harry, and ask you not to go looking for it again. If you ever do run across it, you will now be prepared. Again, foreshadowing. When you're down in that chamber facing Voldemort, you got to be prepared. But actually, you being prepared puts you in much worse danger, because if the stone can just stay in the mirror, that's fine, but it's going to end up in your pocket, and it's going to put everyone in a bit more danger. So really, Dumbledore probably should have prepped him, to be honest. Does not do to dwell on dreams, Harry, and forget to live. Remember that. I feel like that should have been brought up again, like, 'cause it's such a good line, like, remember, like, it doesn't do to dwell in dreams and forget to live. I feel like that should be called back later on in the series. It never is, though. Now why don't you put that Admiral cloak back on and get off to bed? Harry stood up. Sir, Professor Dumbledore, can I ask you something? Obviously, you've just done so. All right, Dumbledore, no need to be such a dick. But also, I love doing that. Yeah, you've already. Yeah, can I ask you a question? You just did. I say that as well to people. I'm a bit of a dick. You may ask me one more thing, however. What do you see when you look in the mirror? I see myself holding a pair of thick woolen socks. Harry stared. One could never have enough socks, said Dumbledore. Another Christmas has come and gone. I didn't get a single pair. People insist on giving me books. And yeah, true. I need socks. Like, a lot of my socks have holes in now. I never get box short socks. I need a lot of them. A lot of holes in stuff. But I'd never get them at Christmas. So I'm with Dumbledore. Yeah, get me some socks. It was only when he was back in bed where it struck that Dumbledore might have not been quite truthful. Then he thought as he shoved Scabbers off his pillow, "Yeah, fuck off, Peter Pettigrew. Probably should have said, oh, you smell like James. I miss him. You traitorous twat." Dumbledore lied. It had been a personal question. And obviously we do know Dumbledore sort of, a bit like Harry, just sees his family stood there. Obviously, we see him with Grindelwald in that one, but we have learned things. I believe it was back on Pottermore. He sees his mum, dad, like sister, and Aberforth all stood there, all happy. A bit like Harry, because he feels guilt and can probably relate to that. And maybe he stood there afterwards. I can imagine Dumbledore standing there, like looking into it, like, oh, I miss you all. I'll go see Aberforth now, I guess. But there we go, an absolute bumper episode, almost an hour and 20 minutes of me talking about chapter 12, chapter 11, I beg your pardon, is it? No, chapter 12, The Mirror of Erised. I didn't realise how big it is. Obviously, a really fun Christmas. The invisibility cloak becomes a real big part of the story going forward. Not as much as it should, as I said. Obviously, The Mirror of Erised, just a fun little chapter. Obviously, Harry having a bit of a spat with Ron. Ron actually for once doing something where he's like pulling Harry out of it. She's sometimes the other way around. Harry doesn't normally get distracted by stuff like that. It's normally Ron who gets like pulled into like that sort of magical trap. So it's quite good that the first time it actually happens, Harry's pulling Ron is pulling Harry out of it. But yes, next time out we are on to chapter 13, which is Nicholas Flamel. It's not a long chapter at all. It's literally 8 pages, so it's going to be a lot shorter episode than this one. Still lots to talk about as we find out who that bloody bastard is. Do leave a like, hit that subscribe button, put that notification bell on, and I'll see you all soon. Have a great week.